Hello everyone, I welcome you all to my channel Neat Biology for Backbenchers. This is Dr. Sumaya Khan. So guys, as we have an exam on 13 September, so I believe that this is a time where you practice more of the multiple choice questions instead of going to the theory part. Because this is going to help you to revise your whole syllabus. So try to practice more of MCQs. So we were discussing the NEET 2018 biology question paper. So this is the second video where we are going to discuss remaining questions, and in the next video also we are going to discuss the question paper. So we have 90 questions from your biology portion. So I have divided your 90 questions into the 3 videos. So this is the second video where we are going to discuss few of the questions and remaining in the upcoming video. So let's begin with the question. The first question says that which of the following features is used to identify a male cockroach from a female cockroach? So how do you differentiate a male cockroach from a female cockroach? So there are certain features that are common to both of them, but there is a presence of the caudal style or the anal style. What the word we use, the caudal style or the anal style. This is a structure which is found only and only in the male cockroach and not found in the female cockroach. This is the structure which is going to help in the anal copulation. It is a copulatory structure which is found in the male cockroach and absence in the female cockroach. So what is the correct option here? The correct answer is fourth here, because males have the caudal and the anal styles present in them. But what do the females have? Females have the anal cerci in them. They do not have the caudal or the anal styles. They have a anal cerci in them. Now, let's go ahead with the next question. Which of the following animal does not undergo metamorphosis? The question option says that starfish, earthworm, moth, and the tunicates. Actually, out of all the 4 given options, the earthworm is the one which is not going to undergo any sort of the metamorphosis. Okay, so correct answer is the second option here. Now, let's go ahead with the further next question. Which of the following are known as the chief producers in the oceans? The option says that euglenoids, dinoflagellates, cyanobacteria, and the diatoms. In the oceans, the chief producers that is responsible for producing a lot of biomass there is the diatoms. Diatoms are belonging to the class of phytoplanktons. They are actually what? They are type of phytoplanktons which deposits their cell wall material which gets accumulated, and with the millions of years it forms a diatomaceous earth. Okay, this is an important MCQ, that it forms a diatomaceous earth after the deposition of their cell wall component. So the answer here is the fourth option. Now, let's go ahead further for the next question. Which of the following options correctly represents a lung condition in asthma and emphysema respectively? Okay, so we have to tell what is happening in the asthma and what is happening in emphysema. So guys, this is a direct question coming from the NCERT. In the respiration and breathing and exchange of the gases, in the last portion of the chapter, there are different disorders of the respiration given. It is a direct question coming from there. So asthma is actually an inflammation. Okay, it is an inflammation of your bronchioles, due to which the person is unable to breathe properly. Then emphysema, it is actually when the lungs loses its, okay, it loses its distensibility, or you can say when its alveolar surface area get decreased, a person leads to a emphysema. So both are respiratory diseases. So the correct answer according to this is the option 2. Now let's go ahead with the next question. The next question says that match the items given in the column 1 with those in the column 2. So we have column 1 where different walls are given, and then match with the column 2. So what is tricuspid wall? So tricuspid wall is generally present where? Between the right atrium and between the right ventricle. Bicuspid valve, which is also known as what? Which is also known as the mitral valve. This you already know, that mitral valve or the bicuspid valve, which is present between where? Between the left atrium and the left ventricle. And semilunar valve is a valve which is present between the right ventricle and the pulmonary artery. So these valves, as you know, it is helping in preventing the backflow of the blood. So these are the valves which are present in the different chambers of the heart. So according to the question, what should be the answer? The A matches with the third. Okay, the B matches with the first, and the semilunar valve, that is the C option, matches with the second. So accordingly, what should be the answer? The answer is 2 here. Now, let's come and forward. Let's go ahead. The next question comes. Here also there's an option based question where you have to match the column. So here you understand that generally we get 2-3 questions or 4 to 5 questions which are based on the match of the column. And what is the trick to do such type of questions? Just try to match one of the options. Sometimes it happens that only with one option, with one finding the match the column, you get the whole correct answer. So here it is all about the respiratory volume, a direct NCERT based question. The tidal volume, inspiratory reserve volume, expiratory reserve volume, and the residual volume, you have to match them with their respiratory volumes. So tidal volume is generally 500 to 550 ml. Okay, it is generally 500. So A matches with the third, first of all. Now, if you look at the options in the first, second, third, and the fourth option, the A matches with the third comes only in the second one and in the fourth one. That means the first one and the third one has been ruled out. There is no chances that you will have this one as your option. So what is our different volumes? Tidal volume is 550 to 500 ml. Inspiratory reserve volume is your what? 2100 to 3200 ml. Expiratory is about 1000 to 1200 ml, and residual volume is about 1200 ml. So according to the options given, the option 4 is the correct answer. So this is a memory based question. You have to memorize the respiratory volume, then only you'll be able to do this question. There is no concept here, you just have to memorize it. Now let's go ahead further. The next question comes. Here is also, you can see the repeatedly we get the 3 questions based on the match the column. So the question says that you have to match the column with the correct one. So glycosouria, what is glycosouria? It is actually when we have a presence of the glucose. Okay, when there is a presence of glucose in the urine is known as the glycosouria. Then we have the gout. Gout is actually a disease in which, you know, the uric acid get deposited at your joints and it causes the joint pain. So it is the accumulation of the uric acid in the joints. Then we have the renal calculi. The common word is the formation of the stones. You know, when the stones formation occur in the kidney, generally in the layman language we use the word stone formation, but biologically the word used is renal calculi. So mass of crystallized salts within the kidney is your renal calculi, and glomerular nephritis is the inflammation of your nephron. Okay, or you can say the inflammation of your glomerulus leads to the glomerular nephritis. So what should be the option according to the answer I said? The option is 1. That glycosouria is the presence of the glucose in the urine. Gout is the accumulation of uric acid in the joints. Renal calculi is the mass of crystallized salts within the kidney, and glomerular nephritis is the inflammation of the glomeruli. Okay, I hope this question is very much clear. Now let's go ahead further. The next question is, again we have the match of the column. This is the 4th question repeatedly in this video that we have a match based question. Now, the question is based on the kidneys. Ultrafiltration, where does the ultrafiltration takes place? We know that ultrafiltration is going to take place in the Bowman's capsule. Okay, or generally the another name for the Bowman's capsule is the Malpighian corpuscles. The answer is Malpighian corpuscles. Another name for this Malpighian corpuscles, also known as Bowman's capsule. This includes your glomerulus also. Okay, this includes your glomerulus also. Now, concentration of the urine. Concentration of the urine means in which part of the nephron the water is going to be reabsorbed and urine will become more concentrated. The dilute word is used whenever you have more water component, and when you have more of the, or you can say less of the water component, more of the solutes, we generally use the word concentration. So Henle's loop. Okay, the descending and the ascending loop of Henle is mainly involved in the concentration of the urine. So it matches with this option, that is your Henle's loop. Transport of the urine. We have a pair of tube-like structure known as ureter, which is going to carry the urine to the urinary bladder, and where the urinary bladder we're going to store until and unless we have an urge to expel it out from the body. So storage of the urine is associated with the urinary bladder. Now you can easily match the column and find the correct answer. So the correct option here is a 4th option. Let's move ahead. The next question says that secondary xylem and phloem in a dicot stem are produced by axillary meristem, apical meristem, phellogen, and vascular cambium. You know, wherever there is a presence of the cambium, there is always a secondary growth. Okay, there is always a secondary growth. And how the secondary growth takes place? Secondary growth takes place with the help of the vascular cambium. So what is the answer here? That the fourth option, vascular cambium, is actually going to participate in the secondary growth and helps in the formation of the xylem, secondary xylem and the secondary phloem. Now next question is pneumatophores. Pneumatophores is actually modification of the roots which is going to help in the exchange of the gases in those plants which are surviving in a conditions other than the normal conditions. Like suppose a plant is there which is, you know, present in our area, marshy areas or somewhere. So we generally use a pneumatophore, which is an adaptation of the roots for the exchange of the gases, so that they will be able to get the enough of the oxygen. So generally plants, halophytes, are plants which are living in the salty conditions. They generally have a pneumatophores in them for the respiration, which is going to help in the exchange of gases. That is why we call these pneumatophores as a breathing roots also. Okay, we've used the word breathing roots also. Now, plants having little or no secondary growth. As I told you in the earlier question, that cambium is a necessary thing for the secondary growth. Without the cambium, no secondary growth can take place. So remember this, that monocots do not have any cambium. Okay, monocots do not have the cambium, so no secondary growth, no secondary growth can take place in the monocots. So out of the four options given here, grasses are the monocots. Okay, grasses are the monocots. So second option is the answer, because grasses are the monocots and no secondary growth will take place in there. Then select the wrong statement. The first statement says that always highlight first of all the question highlighting point, whether they are asking correct option or a wrong option or an incorrect statement. You know, these other terms are used in different questions. The first one says that mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell in all kingdom except Monera. So mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, we know that. Cell wall is present in the members of the fungi and plant. That's very true. Pseudopodia are locomotory and feeding structure found in sporozoans. Pseudopodia is actually a structure which is found in the protozoans like amoeba. It is not a structure which is found in the sporozoans. So this is actually all wrong statements. And mushroom belong to the Basidiomycetes. This is also a true statement. Now, Casparian strips occur. So it is a question related to the anatomy. So endodermis, epidermis, cortex, and the pericycle. You know, just below the cortex, there where the, you know, below which we have the vascular bundle, there is a layer of cell which is called as the endodermis, and this layer of the endodermis has actually a thickening on their cells. Okay, it has some deposition on it, which is we call as the Casparian strips, and what does they happen in this is Casparian strips, and in these Casparian strips they are impermeable to water. The water cannot pass through this pathway. That's why, you know, you must have studied in the transport in the plants that when the water flow is taking place, the pathway is altered. That is, if they are undergoing a symplast pathway, they switch immediately to the apoplast pathway when water reaches to the Casparian strips or to the endodermis, because they are impermeable to it. They do not allow the water to cross to it. Okay, so what is the answer? Endodermis. Now, the next question comes sweet potato. It is a modification. This is a question from the morphology of the flowering plants. Direct memory based question, that what is the modification of the sweet potato? So it is a modified adventitious roots. So the answer is the fourth option, that this is the modified adventitious root meant for the storage purpose. Now, which type of ecological pyramid would be obtained from the following data? So secondary consumer 120 gram, primary consumer 60 gram, primary producer 10 gram. First of all, you have to understand what is this given. This is a pyramid, they are asking about the pyramid of the biomass, because they're asking and giving the value in the gram. So generally numbers are not fine, energy value is not there. This is not a value of number or the energy. This is meant for the biomass. So secondary consumers, primary consumer, and the primary producer. We start from the first trophic level, which is our primary producers. So primary producer produces a biomass. Let's say this is representing your 10 gram. Then you have a primary consumer, which is representing as 160 gram. Let's consider this is a 160 gram. And then on top of it, you have your secondary consumer, which is as 120 gram. So this diagram can easily show you that your pyramid is inverted in shape. So this is an inverted biomass. Okay, this is an inverted pyramid of the biomass. The question is, answer is 2. That is inverted pyramid of biomass. So this is a way how you can find out which type of pyramid is going to form. Just first understand giving the values, whether it is giving for the number, whether it is giving for the energy, whether it is giving for the biomass, and you can draw this way and find the correct answer. I hope this question is clear to you. Next, World Ozone Day is celebrated. Direct memory based question, 16 September. Just memorize it, that it is celebrated as the Ozone Day. Then in the stratosphere, first of all, what is present in the stratosphere? Stratosphere contains the ozone layer. And which of the following elements act as a catalyst in degradation of the ozone and release of molecular oxygen? So how the ozone is getting degraded in the stratosphere? So the highest contributor of degrading the ozone is the presence of the chlorofluorocarbons. Okay, chlorofluorocarbons are the highest contributor. They contain a chlorine in them. This chlorine is actually reacting with the ozone and creating a reactive oxygen species, which is degrading the ozone layer. So here chlorine is actually acting as a catalyst for the degradation of the ozone. So the answer is the fourth option. Now, natality. Okay, natality is actually referring to the birth rate. Okay, natality is a birth rate. Okay, mortality is the death rate. This is mortality. Number of individuals entering in a habitat. When the population is increasing, suppose here is a population and some of the few individuals is entering in it. The word we use, immigration. Okay, immigration starting from the I, and when they are leaving the habitat, we use the word immigration. So these are the terms that meant for each of this statement. But they are asking for the natality. So natality is your birth rate. If they would have asked you for the death rate, so it would have mortality. If they have asked you for the immigration and immigration, similarly you will have the answers for that. So answer comes here about the birth rate. This is the fourth option. Now, niche. What is niche actually? The students generally get confused between the two words habitat and the niche. Okay, habitat and the niche, these are two terminology which are related to each other. So habitat is actually a physical space where an organism lives. Okay, that is a physical space. Now, what all resources we are going to utilize living in that place and how we are interacting with the organisms living there will include your niche in it. So it is actually our role which we are playing in the environment where we are living. So answer is your fun. That is the functional role played by the organism where it is living, how it is being interacting with the environment, how it is utilizing the resources. Everything will be included in the niche. And habitat is just the physical space where the organism is living. Then which of the following is a secondary pollutant? So ozone, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, and carbon dioxide. Out of all four options, the given option ozone is a secondary pollutant. Remaining all are primary pollutant because this is produced by the mixture of something else. Okay, it is not a initially not produced like that. So the answer is ozone. Now, let's go ahead. Winged pollen grains are found. This is a direct question given in one line in NCERT that your pinus is actually having a winged pollen grains in them. Then we have next question is after karyogamy. Karyogamy is nuclear division where the nucleus is dividing. Okay, that is your karyogamy. So followed by meiosis, the spores are produced exogenously in where it happens. It happens in case of agaricus, that is your mushroom. Okay, agaricus is the scientific name for the mushroom which belongs to the class Basidiomycetes. So in them, Agaricus spores are produced exogenously. Now, which is a wrongly matched pair? So we have to here directly match the options. So the uniflagellate glamelids are a wrongly matched pair. It is not an example of the Polysiphonia. Rest of the things, unicellular organism, chlorella, gamma cups, Markensia, very important. Markensia have a gamma cups in them. And biflagellate zoospores are a characteristics of Phaeophyce, that is a brown algae. Then comes the next question. Okay, so I hope these all questions are very much clear to you. Please do subscribe, share, and subscribe my channel. Keep watching the videos, and in the next video I'll be coming with the rest of the questions remaining from the NEET 2018 question paper. I hope everything is clear to you. If you have some doubt, you can keep your posting your doubt in the comment option. So thank you so much for watching to me and listening to me. Keep watching the video. Thank you so much.